Hi guys, Matt V's Movies back for another video, and today we're going to talk about, is collecting fulfilling nostalgia? What do I mean by that? Well, do we collect for the past, our memories, trying to rekindle something from when we were younger? Let's explore it today in the video. So, welcome back to the channel. And if you're new here, my name's Matt, and this channel is all about movies. We look at 4Ks, Blu-rays, DVDs, and sometimes VHS. We look at the collection. We talk about home entertainment industry, talk about collecting physical media. So if that's something you're interested in, scan the QR code that's on screen now, or subscribe, hitting the subscribe button down below. Come and join the channel. Please give me a thumbs up, that really does help out and tells YouTube that you like these videos. And yeah, leave a comment on this subject that we're going to be talking about today on the video. So yeah, collecting, are we doing it for nostalgia purposes? So my age group, sort of mid-40s to mid-60s, a lot of the films that we're getting catalogue releases we're talking about here, for the likes of Arrow, boutique labels, Kino Lorber, Criterion, Studio Canal, the list goes on. So they're bringing a lot of catalogue titles out. They're remastering them. They're giving us extra bonus features, maybe some archival stuff that we've not seen before, and some retrospectives. This kind of thing. Why are they doing this? Well, I think it does feed into nostalgia. I think our age group certainly would see these films from years ago, remember watching them on the television, remember going to the video libraries and renting them out, or browsing the stores of HMV, Virgin Megastore, your local supermarkets when they used to come out on DVD, and even VHS, then Blu-ray. Not so much now with the supermarkets. There's one or two that are still selling Blu-rays and DVDs. Apparently Morrison's seem to be stocking a little bit more now. But in the US, I guess you had Walmart, Best Buy, Target. Back in the day, I guess they would sell the VHS and the DVDs, and then they moved into the Blu-rays. But unfortunately, in the US now, you've pretty much only got Walmart that is stocking the physical media, Blu-rays, 4Ks, and DVDs. So yeah, I do wonder whether we are trying to almost rekindle the past by collecting. Do we collect these editions, recapture that time that we used to go into the video rental stores and hire these films? I can remember not even being able to buy physical media. Years ago, back in the 1980s, when VHS really was in its heyday, prime time, you had video rental stores where you could go in and hire the latest releases. But we're talking about releases that were sort of 1 or maybe even 2 years after they'd come out of the cinema. There was a huge window between cinematic release and the release that we get. I mean, these days, literally it is weeks that you can pretty much go from the cinema to watching it on a digital platform somewhere. As we moved into the late 80s, some VHS started to get sold on the market. Generally, it would be ex-rental releases, but they would be crazy money, £70–80. That's a lot of money back in the 1980s. Then as we moved into the 90s, VHS started to be sold retail. Generally, it was $9.99 price point. And you'd see it in the likes of Tesco's, Sainsbury's, the UK supermarkets, plus HMV, Our Price, Virgin Megastore, Tower Records. There are many physical media shops where things would be sold. And all the way through the 90s, going from VHS into DVD, we would go into these shops and browse and buy these editions, generally just standard editions. They weren't collector's editions. You'd get the odd one now and again that the studio would put out, typically someone like Warner Brothers or 20th Century Fox before it was owned by Disney. Occasionally they would give us a limited edition set, and I do have a few of those from back in the day. But this is even before the internet was a thing, and it was a real experience for us collectors to go out and look for films, browse the shelves like we used to do when we used to go to the video rental stores and purchase these. Now we're in a digital age where a lot of us are streaming films. You can access pretty much new releases within 2 to 3 months of it coming out of the cinema, straight to your television. No need to go into shops. No need to actually buy a physical copy anymore. But as collectors of physical media, we generally like to get the physical media copy. So they are obviously available generally online now. I know you can go to sort of charity shops, thrift stores in America. You can still find DVDs and Blu-rays in those kind of places. So it's still giving you that experience that we once had. But typically now, with a collector's market in full swing, likes of boutique labels producing fantastic editions with bonus features, restored film, it's really feeding into that nostalgia. We're seeing year on year more and more catalogue titles being released, giving us that nostalgia from the 70s, the 80s and the 90s and even the 2000s. Now I only have a small collection, probably less than 1,000 films, which some collectors have 2, 3, 4, 5,000 films. Some have almost video libraries that they've constructed in their own homes. And I do wonder whether there's a kind of subconsciousness of collecting that is kind of feeding back into that time of the video libraries when we used to go into these shops and we'd see shelves and shelves of VHS tapes. You could browse up and down the aisles of a VHS video rental store. And I do wonder whether people, if they do have the space, are kind of recreating that for themselves because it gives them happy memories. It's great to have things organised, obviously, within your own home. I don't have a movie room per se, but I do have a couple of bookshelves, one that's behind me, one in another part of the house. I do have a little man cave, but I don't keep movies out there because it is a sort of converted conservatory. So I don't particularly want to keep films out there that I would necessarily watch. I do have some VHS out there, but because of the temperature sort of differences, etc., my main movie collection is kept sort of in a safe environment where discs aren't going to get warped and this kind of a thing. We are seeing now with the boutique labels, and generally prices are increasing year on year with physical media. I think these companies know that collectors like us are very much looking for those classic titles. Some of the films that we're getting now maybe don't seem to live up to the sort of expectations of films that we had in the past. So I do wonder, as collectors, we do collect a lot of this stuff. A lot of it just sits on the shelf. We can't watch everything all of the time. How many times do you watch a film that you've purchased in your collection? I'm sure there are some that you probably watched more than others. But do we like the idea of being able to build a collection to kind of link in with that nostalgia, that feeling that we had back in the 80s, back in the 90s, when we used to go into the video stores, we used to go to the retail shops in the high streets That was our sort of time for searching, hunting for new films, trying to find a bargain. You can do that still, I guess, now with your charity shops and your thrift stores. It's always great, isn't it, to go out to try and find something for a great price. But that is becoming less and less now, as a lot of these places don't even want to take the media anymore. So this is where the boutique labels have really clicked onto it, and they are trying to produce these wonderful collector's editions to feed into that nostalgia that I think we all crave as collectors. Now, we mustn't miss out younger people as well that are new to a lot of these films. The new generations are kind of interested in physical media now. There's been a revival of vinyl, and now certainly younger people are interested in collecting tangible things. We all like tangible things. Yes, digital is great for convenience. It's portable. You can watch stuff on the move. Maybe we can be a bit lazy and just want to watch stuff without having to get up, take a disc or tape out of a case and pop it in a player to then actually watch it on the TV. At the touch of a button, you can be watching a film within seconds. But we do like tangible things, and the boutique labels certainly are feeding into that. They're producing these wonderful editions with booklets, art cards, posters, all to try and give you that nostalgia, that feeling of, I remember this film. It brings back a lot of memories. Nice to have stuff on the shelf as well. And I guess it allows younger people to find these films for the first time. Often with streaming platforms, they only have a limited amount of films on their platform at one time, and scrolling through stuff, you may miss things. But when you go searching for it on a store, online, or still physically in store, you're able to spend more time browsing the shelves, browsing the websites. Yes, okay, we can scroll through streaming sites, but generally it's just a thumbnail, an image. It might give you a little bit of a description, but generally not as much as you would find, say, on a website selling a collector's edition with reams of information about the restoration, booklets, posters, all this sort of a thing. So I'd be interested in hear your thoughts down below. What do you think? Do we collect for nostalgia purposes? Are we trying to link back to the past? Or do you think we just want to have a great collection? So yeah, interesting subject, this one. Be interested to hear your thoughts. What do you think? I'll leave a playlist here for other chat videos that I do. Go and have a look at some of those. There might be something of interest to you. Thanks ever so much for watching the video. Take care. See you next time.